The seven-time world champion sits in his crimson car, watching Charles Leclerc disappear into the distance yet again. This is not how the story was supposed to unfold. Lewis Hamilton arrived at Ferrari with one simple goal: to rewrite the ending of his legendary career in the most dramatic way possible. But 10 races into 2025, the numbers tell a brutal truth. Leclerc leads him 7 victories to 1 in qualifying battles, 7 wins to 2 in race finishes, and Hamilton trails his teammate by 63 points in the championship. Worse than the statistics is the creeping realization that this Ferrari, this machine he sacrificed everything to drive, might not be the weapon he needs for one final assault on history. The car feels alien beneath him, unpredictable and fragile, when he needs strength and precision. Every weekend brings fresh humiliation as the SF-25 betrays his genius in the moments that matter most. The machine goes into crisis when low fuel meets slow corners, becoming a nightmare in the precise conditions where champions are made. But this is Lewis Hamilton we are talking about. And if there is one thing that 40 years of life has taught him, it is this: the most dangerous version of himself emerges when his back is pressed against the wall. The public breakdown began with 5 words that shattered the carefully constructed facade around Ferrari's most ambitious signing in decades. "The connection with Lewis is not as easy as we thought," Fred Vasseur told Italian media, his voice carrying the weight of barely concealed frustration. To outsiders, it sounded like a routine comment about adaptation challenges. But inside the cutthroat world of Formula One politics, those words landed like a declaration of war. In the coded language that teams use when they want to send messages without appearing to do so, Vasseur had just fired a warning shot that echoed through every corner of Maranello. The translation was clear to those who understood. Hamilton is not playing the game according to our rules. He is challenging our systems, questioning our methods, and refusing to quietly accept his place in the hierarchy. And for that defiance, the institution is beginning to push back. Sources close to Hamilton's camp describe a driver who has been stunned by the comment, not because it was unexpected, but because it revealed how deeply the old Ferrari mentality still runs through the organization. This is a driver who spent years transforming Mercedes from good to dominant through collaboration and trust. At Ferrari, he has discovered a fortress built on tradition and ego, where information flows through layers of management and every decision becomes a political calculation. The comment was met with disbelief among those who know Hamilton's work ethic, his dedication to perfection, his willingness to adapt and evolve. But if Ferrari's leadership believed this public pressure would force Hamilton into submission, they have fundamentally misunderstood the man they are dealing with. Because pressure, for Lewis Hamilton, has always been fuel for greatness. The cryptic messages from Ferrari's leadership have continued to arrive like coded warnings, each one more unsettling than the last. During a recent briefing, Vasseur offered another carefully crafted line that sent shockwaves through Hamilton's inner circle. Not all updates for the 2025 car are visible. Some have been communicated to the FIA, others have not. The casual observer might hear routine technical discussion, but Hamilton, with his decades of experience navigating team politics, recognized something far more sinister. It was a message about control, about information being deliberately withheld from the very driver who was supposed to be leading Ferrari's championship charge. At Mercedes, Hamilton's voice shaped every development cycle. His feedback influenced wind tunnel programs. His setup preferences guided engineering choices. His instincts helped define the car's fundamental character. At Ferrari, he has discovered a system where knowledge is power, and power is guarded jealously by those who have spent years building their own kingdoms within the organization. For a 7-time world champion who has built his career on total immersion and collaborative development, this fragmented approach represents more than just frustration. It represents a fundamental betrayal of trust. The psychological impact cannot be overstated. Hamilton is reading these signals perfectly, and they are fueling a dangerous question that grows stronger with each passing race. Can I truly trust this project with my legacy? The uncertainty extends beyond development philosophy to the very nature of Ferrari's 2026 preparations. with Hamilton recently admitting he might soon urge the team to abandon the troubled SF25 entirely to focus on the next regulation cycle. For a driver who came to Ferrari to win now, not later, this represents the ultimate admission of defeat.